Darkness will fall when the light is gone. Your blood runs cold and your time is done. As we dance our last waltz, darkness will fall. Darkness will fall.
I knew I should have locked that door.
Where's Fenton?
Passed out on his bed.
Are you alright?
No. I don't think I'll ever be alright again. The only friend I ever had just tried to kill me. And I tried to kill him. So it's been a day.
Fenton did that.
What do you want?
I just saw the chief.
Yeah, and?
He's not the man you think he is.
Listen, Agent Green.
Please, call me Osiris.
Listen, Osiris. You're the last thing I want to deal with right now.
I listened in on a secret meeting he was having.
With who?
Evel.
Who the hell is Evelyn?
She's one of the elders.
Is a vampire?
Yeah. Seems Chief didn't tell you the clan still exists. That does the treat.
No. Gabriel wiped them all out.
He thought he did. Still does. But it's a lie. Alexander brought the clans back from the brink of extinction.
So what? He's their new king?
No. He wants to be, but the monarchy's defunct. That case you started on, the dead hematologist, he's tied to it. He's been working on something called the HP protocol.
Yeah, I've heard of it. thought the project was scrapped years ago.
Well, it's not. Now he has the means to complete it. It's so potent. A single vial is equivalent to 6 liters of mortal blood.
Making our existence more of a nuisance than a necessity. That can't be good.
And the treaty fails. But that's just the beginning.
I can't wait to hear the rest.
Michael's been working with Chief.
What?
He sent him to kill Gabriel. And it was the Chief that removed the alchemist's binding stone. It kept him from finding you.
You're a liar.
You're not the only one who's been betrayed. The alchemist. My friend. He's actually a celestial. And supposedly reality.
What are you talking about?
It's a long story. But apparently, he gave the Chief a vision of the future. And the Chief's been orchestrating everything based off that vision. He gave Alexander the means to perfect the HP protocol. Sacrificed those hematologists to ensure it was done. He's been playing Michael, leading him to believe he can resurrect Elizabeth.
Playing Michael?
The Chief gave Evelyn a sequence to bring Elizabeth out. It's a fake.
Well, what the fuck is the sequence? You know you could have led with that one.
I don't know what it said. Just the parchment it was printed on.
Great. Just great.
That's not all.
More? Are you fucking kidding me?
The HP protocol. It's a virus. It'll attack and kill anyone with Elder DNA.
Why?
Because apparently killing all the Nocturnes will save the world. At least that's what the Chief believes.
Shit.
Now,
Are you kidding me? What else can there be?
I found out more about your past.
The Chief already told me everything.
No. I don't think he did.
What the hell else is missing?
You aren't human. You're a celestial. Exiled to this planet, you were a child. Raised by mortals. Elizabeth killed them. Brought them back. That's when she turned.
It explains why she's so powerful.
It also explains Michael's prowess. He killed his father, a fallen elder, drained him of his blood and power.
Oh my god.
There's also another elder, Michael and Gabriel's sibling. Michael's been protecting them. A vampire so powerful, they can control all the legacies without the bloodstone.
Enough! I can't take it. Wait a second. The Nocturne virus. If it will kill everyone with Elder DNA, then
It'll affect you. And there's no antidote. I'm sorry, Mel.
The Chief said he raised me. Said I was the very thing that changed his existence. Made him a better man. And now you're trying to tell me he's gonna kill me just like the others?
The chief said the moment he had the vision, that's what changed his destiny. And he's willing to do whatever it takes to ensure that future doesn't come to pass. That includes sacrificing you.
Who does the chief think this threat is?
Another celestial. Fate. He believes she's trying to enslave us all. Literally bring hell on earth. He says the alchemist is our savior, but I don't buy it. I think all the celestials are corrupt, using us as simple toys to fulfill their warped agendas.
The game allows those in power to stay in power. Something the chief said.
Every piece is expendable.
So how do we find out what's going on?
This is way beyond my pay grade. And I have no one else to turn to. It looks like the chief's playing every side right now.
Everyone has some agenda in this. How do we know who to trust?
There's Maddie.
No. She has a stake in this, I know it. Last time we talked, I had the distinct feeling she wanted Elizabeth to come.
She is Majestic's nuclear option, in case you become Elizabeth.
Great! So the whole fucking world wants to either see me change or die. There really is no one left to trust. How do I know I can even trust you?
Cornelius told me, if I came clean to you, I'd be the villain of the story. And that he's the only hero.
Is there really such a thing anymore? Let's say I buy into all this. What do we do next?
You can't do this alone. But who's left that isn't a part of all this?
What about a forsaken lover, tormented wolf, a broken seer, and a resurrected vampire? So what's your plan?
So you're saying, to fight these monsters, we need money. He's here.
Took you long enough to find him.
I'm still trying to figure out how you knew he existed.
I have my methods.
Yeah. I'm well aware of your methods, Cornelius. All too aware. But how you got the okay for this little venture of yours is beyond me. Especially considering how dangerous the subject is.
Your superiors recognize the value of this target. How long has he been here?
Since the incident.
Trapped in this abomination you embarrassingly call an asylum.
And where else would you like him to be held? A state prison? A local hospital? I think we both know how that would go.
How much do you really know about him?
According to our reports, he's able to hear every thought for miles. Millions of voices, invading every waking moment.
Define hell. Having your identity lost among legions of others, unable to distinguish one from another.
I don't think he knows what an original thought is anymore. He should be dead. The sheer toll on his mind and body should have killed him 100 times over.
That is what makes him remarkable. He has cheated death. That makes him an incredibly curious specimen.
Especially for you. But what I'm really struggling with is why Majestic will let him live at all. Seers are outlawed because of the damage they can do to history.
He can be a valuable tool for all of us.
You do know how he ended up here. What he did?
Because he had no control of his powers. I can assist him with that.
Yeah? For what purpose?
You know about the spike. That Nocturne activity is on a dangerous rise. It's become increasingly difficult to contain these threats while maintaining the secrecy of their existence and ours. With this young man at our disposal, we can identify those threats before they manifest, saving countless man-hours and lives.
Somehow, I'm getting the feeling your true intentions are far less noble.
Might I remind you, both your approval and understanding are utterly unnecessary.
Seems that way.
The wolf was a help, was she not?
Yes. She was quite an asset.
There is no better tracker.
I can't say she's any happier about finding him than I am. While we're on the subject, you do realize it's a violation to enlist outside, shall we say, contractors.
Those so-called contractors, as you and I both know, are a significant part of Majestic's payroll. I have the wolf and the hunter. And you have the angel.
But contractors, like Celeste, come at a high cost. I wonder, what does a man like you have to pay a monster like that for her loyalty?
We have quite a history and an understanding.
Doesn't seem the understanding type. More like the bite the hand that feeds you kind.
Humor is not your strong suit, Agent Green.
I wasn't making a joke. Understand this, Cornelius. I'm always watching you. You may have your sway with the others, but But never mistake that carries over to me. Your arrogance will always be your greatest weakness.
Always a pleasure, Osiris.
Wish I could say the same.
I did what you asked. I'm done.
For now.
He didn't give me much, but we expected that.
Cornelius has greatly overestimated his abilities if he thinks he can control that kind of raw power.
Just how powerful?
Crack the world kind of powerful. And now we know that the device he had me working on wasn't a coincidence.
The governor.
Yes, I completed it last week. It's based off of the leash, the very device that the Templars used to control the Nocturnes.
Then we were right. All of their science wasn't destroyed, as we were led to believe. How exactly does it work?
It erases a creature's identity without sacrificing any of its skills or instincts, making monstrous puppets of anything under its control. However, to recreate that exact device is impossible. It was an omen, imbued with powerful enchantment, and made of materials that no longer exist.
So for the seer, what would it do?
It would dampen his psychic abilities while recording the prophetic visions that he involuntarily has within it.
What do you mean recording the visions?
It filters them into it. You see, I constructed the device from a paladin crystal, among other sacred metals, and used one of my own enchantments to make it functional. When the visions occur, he'll be totally unaware, and the crystal will bypass his consciousness and store them.
If they're stored, that means they can be retrieved.
No. I installed a failsafe. If the governor were ever to be removed or accessed, it will kill the wearer and utterly corrupt the data, making it completely indiscernible.
Are you sure it'll work?
It's never been tested on any living being. However, by my analysis, it should, or kill him instantly.
I'm hoping, for once, your tech fails. He's better off dead, for everyone's sake.
Cyrus, I can't believe you would say something like that.
Despite what Cornelius may say, that thing isn't a tool. He's a weapon. One of mass destruction.
Who are you?
A savior.
God abandoned me a long time ago. You can't save me either.
And what if I told you I can?
Well, I'd call you a liar. So I guess instead of a god, you'd be the devil.
Doesn't matter. if I could bring you peace?
Do you know what I have done?
I know everything.
Well, then I was wrong. You ain't the devil. You're just an idiot.
Been called worse. Now, do you want my help or not? What if you have to lose?
Let's say I agree. What's the cost?
You work for me. Let's cut through all the bullshit. Have you taken the time to ask yourself why or how you're even having this conversation with me, seeing that you were a drooling vegetable only days ago?
That's what that damn thing in my neck is, isn't it?
Yes. It's actually a temporary device until the real one can be implanted.
You didn't have my permission.
Peace comes at a cost. Are you really in any condition to negotiate that price?
So, it'll stop the voices for good.
More than that, it will allow you to use your powers, control them, instead of them controlling you.
So what's the catch?
If it doesn't work, you die.
Either way, it's a win for me.
You'll be domesticated a bit. Small price to pay for real freedom.
Just promise me that I will not be some lapdog.
All I can promise you is a life worth living. Or a quick and painless death.
Well then, when do we begin?
We need to have a serious talk.
I don't think you're gonna like what I have to say.
Trust me. I know you're not gonna like what I have to say.
Well, that was intense.
What are you doing?
Waiting for you. The place is a wreck.
Thanks. Do you think you trust me?
Osiris? No. But he didn't shoot you, so there's that.
How did you know my story?
The guy's an enigma. The creepy kind that tries a panel van.
You two seem to have bonded.
Yeah, well, he's a means to an end, so.
Why? What happened?
You have been through enough today already.
Hey, I'm not some fragile butterfly, you know?
Wow. Somebody actually uses that expression. Look, we'll talk on the way there.
Where?
Majestic. We're gonna have a friendly chat with the chief.
What? Why?
Like I said, we'll talk in the car. Now get your shit together. Let's go.
All right.
Are you sure you're up for it?
No, I'll be fine. I can't hide from my demons anymore. Besides, everyone seems to know my address, so...
Okay. Then let's get to driving on this highway to hell then, shall we?
You certainly have a way of putting things.
Oh, stick around, Tonto. There's plenty where that came from.
Do I need to know who that is?
God, have you ever heard of Google?
Or why don't you just keep your pop culture references to the last decade? That might help simplify things.
Nice.
I don't believe we had an appointment today.
Cyrus told me everything.
Okay, I guess subtlety was part of the plan we discussed.
What exactly did he tell you?
Can't believe you're going to betray me. Was everything you told me just straight up bullshit?
I told you exactly what you needed to hear.
And what you told Osiris was the truth.
Do you really want to know? Because I don't think you do. Chief, why? Because I will do whatever I need to. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is sacred, and no one is safe.
You told Osiris because you knew he would tell Mal.
Good to see my so-called seer has finally caught up.
You're an unbelievable bastard.
And you are a naive child who can't possibly understand the big picture.
You may be right. But you told me I was your child. And you know, despite everything, I was actually starting to believe.
Then you are truly idiots.
Cornelius!
Watch it, boy. You haven't earned that yet.
I want to see burning hell.
If I fail, you might just get your wish. And you'll be right there to enjoy it with me.
Fuck you!
Mal!
You are way out of your league, girl.
Yeah? Let's find out. Shall we?
Mal, what are you doing?
Dominado! Here.
Mal, stop!
You condemned me once, Cornelius. I'll never do it again. She hasn't. You want to see me dead? Death? It's unstable.
Mal.
You have no idea what you have done. You have no idea what it will cost you. You, my dear, are unnecessary. You asshole! What the? What have you become? How?
You do realize that you're not invulnerable.
Yes, but I know you, boy. Would you really pull that trigger and kill your personal messiah? Go ahead. Let's see the monster still in there.
Sometimes it takes a monster to kill a monster.
Then do it, hero.
I see fear in your eyes.
That fear is for you. I touched you. It had no effect. Seers are not immune to death's hold. Now, pull the trigger! Do it! Damn you, boy. That's what I thought. You are afraid.
To kill you? Yes. But I still need a distraction so we can get away.
Oh! You son of a bitch!
Ugh, I'm glad that actually worked. If you try to move, I will cripple you. We're leaving. Can you walk?
They heard the shot! You'll never make it out of here!
Well, they Unconscious? That's not possible! Well, believe me, Chief. I've just learned all kinds of new things about me today. Wow. That little bastard! Ugh.
I wasn't sure you would come,
I nearly didn't.
but why this place?
Would it have mattered?
So that's your answer then?
Yes.
No chance to reconsider.
The past is the past. It's merely a memory for me.
And yet for me, it's as though it were still yesterday.
My path has been chosen. Not by me, for me.
We can forge a new one together.
No. My destiny is one of solitude. Purposeful solitude.
My first instinct was to kill you. And yet my anger could not surpass the love I had for you.
Your vengeance is justified. Your love, it's misguided. I no longer have the capacity to have those feelings anymore. When Maria died, that part of my soul, it died as well.
I can't believe that. I won't believe it.
Whether you choose to believe it or not, what is real, truth is truth.
That is not my truth.
It has to be. I no longer want to be enemies. I don't have the strength to fight you anymore.
You are not my enemy. The battle with the Seer provided perspective
How so?
on the beast and why I chose not to give in to it.
You always were stronger than it. That is why I admired you so.
And you are stronger than you think.
So I am told. But it will take time. For me.
How much?
More than either of us have.
So our only bond now
Is to make the Templars pay for what they made me do to you and for what they did to me.
agreed. But how?
They all wear a mask, but the face behind it remains the same.
Majestic.
Yes, and the head of that beast.
You know who it is?
Yes. Arrogance always leads to foolishness. And Cornelius has a god share of both.
He told you?
No, but his lies have led me to the one that does.
So what's your plan?
We squeeze until they give us what we need.
And what if they don't?
Oh, they will, because pain is the great emancipator. And the Templars, they schooled me well in the art of pain. It's time for the student to become the teacher.
And after?
We pay for our sins, as we all will eventually.
Agent Osiris.
Who are you? How did you get up here?
Now I wouldn't do that, or else you miss out on what I have to tell you. Besides, I hear you're running on a skeleton crew these days. Didn't that psychotic cohort of yours put at least half the staff in the hospital yesterday?
And how would you know that?
Even good old Chiefy is recovering from an unfortunate accident, thanks to that trigger-happy telepath. I must say, the cover-up is classic. A random gas leak. Is that what they're calling it?
Maddie?
Oh, you are good.
So you shifted. Not really your style.
We are never what we see. So many hide behind the same facade. So boring. But that's not why I'm here.
Why then? Remind me we need to update our security system.
Your sense of humor is improving.
Cut the shit, Maddie. What do you want?
You know, Osiris, you are one of the few that I can honestly say what you see is exactly what you get. And I've been around for a while.
Well, this has been fun. Now how about you tell me the real fucking reason you're here?
Well, we are talking about masks. And despite your rudeness, I am willing to tell you who is behind one of them.
Let me guess. Certain witch. Maybe a hapless seer. How about a dethroned reaper? Really, Maddie? You're a little late to the game when it comes to unsettling revelations.
No, Osiris. That would most definitely be you.
You don't say.
Spoiler alert, it's the alchemist.
You mean the god of reality?
Ooh, color me impressed.
Old news.
So you know how he intervened?
Yeah. I stepped into the whole pile of bullshit. The chief led me right into it.
And how he manipulated you?
Everyone.
No, just
Now you're just boring the hell out of me.
he is the reason for everything you are, Osiris. Your parents, Riley, Majestic, it was all mapped out for you.
And I'm sure you'll tell me the reasons why.
Why don't you ask him? See if he'll take off his mask.
You need a little more than your ramblings to prompt that kind of conversation.
Well, Mommy and Daddy didn't get along, did they? The scene was ugly. Even more so for the child who witnessed the whole thing.
Congrats, Maddie. You just affirmed your ability to read. All that shit's in my file.
But does that same file contain what he said to you before he pulled the trigger?
Careful.
Or what? Don't pull your dick out with me.
Get out, Maddie. We're done. In fact, we were done the moment you opened your mouth.
Now this is real freedom, boy.
What the fuck did you say?
Isn't that what Daddy said before he pulled the trigger? But seeing as I don't have my heavenly ability to view the past anymore, how would I know that? Unless he told me.
And how the fuck would he know that?
Oh, that's right! You never told anyone, not even your beloved Riley. So how would he know that?
You're asking me? This is your delusion.
Because he made it happen, you twit! He was there!
Maddie, I swear to God.
But I've given you enough information. Now let's see if the hero is brave enough to face the truth.
Whatever game you're playing.
Oh no. Playtime is over. Shit's about to get downright horrifying. Bye now.
I hate it when that bitch does that. How could she have known? When did this suddenly become my life?
in the mood.
Nice one. Should have healed by now.
It will when we get back to full strength. What do you want?
Why did you tell him? That wasn't part of the plan.
Because I amended the plan.
Not your call.
Make no mistake. It will always be my call. Always.
It's a dangerous play.
One you won't expect.
So any impulsive risk is warranted now.
There is no risk that is impulsive. At least where and when I am involved.
So now you have your own plan. One that I'm not privy to.
There was a need to know.
And I guess I didn't need to know.
What do you know now? So, problem solved.
Never forget who I am, what I am capable of. Don't let your balls get so big that the blood rushes from your brain to feed them. You want to win this? You need me. But I can accomplish my goal with or without you.
Then why am I still here?
You're still here because I want you here. The moment your usefulness subsides...
You wonder why I have my own plans.
Careful, Spectre. I won't warn you again. You best follow the script, or else you will know who I am and what I am truly capable of.
No need for any of that.
And we are in accord again.
Yes.
Oh, and don't forget to clean up the mess you made.
That is why you'll never be a step ahead of me. That mess, as you call it, is the biggest part of my plan. Why else would I let that little prick put a bullet in me?
Jesus, Fenton.
What the hell are we doing here, Agent Green? You do realize what's just happened, right? Fenton and I need to get to a safe house quick, while the whole Bureau is up our asses.
No one at Majestic's coming for you.
What? Why?
Because it would expose the chief. That's why.
How? Isn't he the mastermind behind all this?
Because it would be too much of a risk. Too much work. He'll come for you. But it won't involve Majestic.
Maddie.
That's right. You girl. And you just samba danced all over that launch pad.
Fuck me.
Exactly. By the way, she had her own little makeover.
And how do you know that?
She paid me a visit.
That doesn't sound like Maddie. Going through all the trouble of a makeover just for a throw her hand, especially to you.
Which only means you are royally fucked. She wanted me to know it. She wanted you to know it. She wants you to see her coming.
So she knows we're working together.
You were gonna go out one way or another. You just made a quick choice.
So how long do you think we have?
That'll depend on how much Maddie enjoys playing with her food before she devours it. That's it. We got no way out.
Well, we better find one. I can use all my power to create a diversion spell long enough for us to get some distance.
Your magic against a psychotic angel? How do you think that's gonna fare?
Relax. Ideally, you won't need to find out. That's why we're here.
What is this place?
Hopefully, where all the answers are stored.
Better be right for it.
What is she doing here? She's our early warning system in case I'm wrong and Maddie decides to act a little more quickly than I think she will.
Watchdog, huh?
I might just kill her before the angel gets the chance.
Play nice, you two.
You realize what kind of risk we're taking here, don't you?
Wait, why?
Artifacts. Who?
The Celestial, cousin to Fate, a creator being.
And when exactly do we find out about...
I've known about him for a while. I thought he was a warlock. Kept the Majestic's payroll sort of a mystical archivist.
And I filled him in on the rest.
However, his location in our records is false.
So how did you find him?
Riley hid him here.
Why?
Because he knew who he could trust and who he couldn't.
So when did you tell Osiris?
We've been working together for a while, ever since the chief told him about the HB protocol.
So this is about saving your ass.
Yes, and your pretty little one too.
So what? We're some kind of team now?
Your suggestion, remember?
What about Gabriel?
We can't find him. Nathaniel is searching for him as we speak.
Great. So both wolves are on our side now.
For the moment.
So how do we know this creator being is gonna help us?
We don't. We're lucky if he doesn't kill us.
That's promising.
He knows we're coming.
How?
A friend. Gave him the heads up.
The alchemist.
Yeah.
But I thought...
Yeah. But hopefully, he doesn't know what I know.
If he does, this is gonna be a very short visit.
You know what this is?
Yeah. It's a magical lockpick.
An elven omen. Able to remove spells and provide safe passage.
Yeah! Please don't get all hard about it.
Use it.
Okay. Try decaf once in a while. Avaloi. Onzen. Yuta.
Are you alright?
Yeah. That shouldn't have taken that much out of me.
It's Elizabeth. She's drawing your strength to use as her own.
Hey, Mal has control.
Then you are more naive than I thought. But you aren't all that you appear to be.
Celeste, that's enough.
What did you mean by that?
Never mind. The door's open, and we're running out of time.
Well, hell. Let's get this party started, shall we? Kind of getting used to this whole damned if we do, damned if we don't thing. Lassie, let your nose lead the way.
I understood that reference.
Score one for Nick at 9.
Knock it off! I do not want this to be the last conversation I hear before I possibly die. Celeste, please lead the way.
Wait. Aren't you guys gonna draw your weapons?
Yeah. Because that's worked out so well to date.
The only protection we have is you, witch.
I've got this.
sense anything?
Despair and loneliness. Terrific.
Someone's here. Why does it feel so familiar? Stay focused.
It's not every day there are those brave or foolish enough to enter my lair.
Lord Artifacts.
Lady Luna, such a pleasure to see you again. It's been some time since our last meeting.
Yes, my lord. I am humbled by your presence and apologize for the intrusion.
I'm assuming they have history.
Quiet. This is not an intrusion. You're always welcome here. I spend far too much time alone these days, both a curse and a blessing from our mutual friend Riley.
A light such as yours should have never been veiled, especially by that of mortal men.
An unfortunate necessity, considering the circumstances. I see you've brought guests.
Friends with burdens.
Hallmark moment. Can we get up now? I don't have the knees I had in high school.
Mal, enough.
Oh, yes. Please, stand. Your fealty, though well-intentioned, is not required.
So, Riley did provide your relocation.
And reality, the shroud of secrecy. I must say, Lady Luna, you've chosen some odd acquaintances. The agent, I understand. Riley had great affection for him. However, your remaining alliance is perplexing, to say the least.
My lord, things are not as they seem.
As is apparent. The witch seems far too docile.
You know me?
I know who you once were.
Did he mean me as well?
So you knew Elizabeth.
I knew her. Long before this mortal form.
Oh, and she was a demigod.
So, you have been educated. A dangerous play by those who chose to reveal such secrets.
It was Cornelius.
He has always been reckless, especially considering his former post.
So who was she before Elizabeth?
A servant of creation, guardian of souls. That is, before she fell.
You mean banished and forsaken?
Now that sounds more like the siren's voice I once knew. Her rage was unmistakable, even when muted.
You said Celeste alliances bothered you. What did you mean by that?
Some truths need to be left in the graves to which they're buried.
Sir, we came here because we need your help.
I know very well why you're here. Reality's incantation may keep me concealed from the world, but I'm not absent from it.
Then you know of Fate's plan. Cornelius, we need to stop them both.
You won't. The pattern has been set and cannot be broken.
Riley said otherwise.
Riley is not a god, though he has been damned like one.
My lord, is there no way we can stop your cousin?
She was one of the first. I'm merely a byproduct of her inception. A servant of the greater existence, as she now stands partner to it.
Who exactly are you?
Fenton! Do not offend those greater than yourself!
As if I were. Thank you, Lady Luna, for your relentless reverence. The boy has a right to his inquiry. After all, he's been taught a history that's so entrenched in deceit that truth has become an unforgivable trespass. I was burdened with populating the vast expanse you call the cosmos, creating all of its inhabitants. An artist, whose masterpieces move from canvas to illustrious sentience. I use an endless myriad of colours and palettes. Did you know the first spider did not appear until Cain spilled Abel's innocent blood? I saw the pattern it left on the rocks below his corpse, crimson, spreading out across both the stone surfaces, stretching out as if his very soul were trapped within, screaming and reaching to find solace. So I crafted a creature whose very perception demonstrates the majesty and complexity of creation, while defining the fear of both death and betrayal. An entity whose very presence invokes instant fear or dark wonder. Then I produced a diverse host of them, purposefully leaving the ability, by sight alone, to discover the lethalness or impotence of their bite, just as Abel could not determine his brother's intentions until the first and final strike. And yet, like an emissary of death, their continuation is required to keep life in balance. And yet, if I'd altered their communal identity in the slightest, they would have become the masters of their domain, feeding on all life until their presence, and theirs alone remained. And now you see the riddle in all things. Life is made up of a balance. When that harmony is jeopardized, the offending force must be exterminated.
Was that fate's motive? To eradicate humanity because it offends her deranged idea of balance?
Mankind was the only creation I shared no part in.
Then who did?
They belonged to him, and him alone.
Enough with these riddles.
You humans choose not to believe when things are laid out in utter simplicity. Even if I revealed your maker, your minds would reject it because it would violate some imagined sensibility, rationality you've come to worship. An undaunted dogma, carefully and determinedly woven with the threads of your own guilt, desire, fallacy, and ignorance. This is why Alexander is intent on stopping Argus. Why fate believes that enslavement is the only way to stop the cancer she considers humanity to be. As I said, concealed, not absent.
There has to be a way to stop fate.
There was a time when she could be stopped. When fear and wisdom stood strong against her whims.
When and who now?
The two most powerful forces in existence. Fear is the author of all things. We succeed because we fear failure. We love because we fear solitude. We hate because we fear that which we don't understand. Pride is born of the fear of insecurity. Freedom is born from the fear of oppression. Survival from extinction. While wisdom provides the wherewithal to find truth, logic, and purpose in fear, keep it from consuming all that we are.
Last time I checked, fear is a very real thing, and although uncommon, so is wisdom.
Although their impact and effects remain, their entities have long since passed.
Michael made sure of that.
With all you already know, why come to me?
So, does that make Michael fear?
No. It makes him something far worse.
But did he kill Wisdom too?
Once Wisdom's mate was destroyed, she was left vulnerable, convinced by fate that it was the corruption of humanity that led to his death, and not the folly of his own infidelity.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
He had many lovers, as he was unable to remain loyal to his mate. We Celestials are a great many things, but we're incapable of love. Only connection.
Ugh, I've heard the whole connection spiel from Maddie Hill.
She was the first like us to experience such an emotion. And look what it did to her. Once obtained, it drove her mad.
So how many of these so-called lovers did Fear have?
The sheer number of Nocturne species answers that question, as it was his philandering that led to each one of their vile incarnations. But it was with Michael's mother that he met his match and demise. You see, Fear insisted on only firstborn sons to further his line.
Great. So even gods are misogynistic.
Michael was not Fear's firstborn. His mother bore a daughter, the true elder. After his failure, he raped Michael's mother, and she bore him the son he demanded. Then took her again, and she gave birth to Gabriel. Fear went to kill the girl child, but Michael stopped and destroyed him.
Who called you? Gabriel. Now you'll die with her.
Blaming his mother for not protecting his sibling, and in a state of animalistic rage, Michael murdered her as well.
So what happened to Michael's sister?
It was in that moment of unbridled fury that she perished. Her death at Michael's hands drove him to embrace his darkness, beginning the path to what he's become today. Fate used those deaths to demonstrate the impurity of humanity. Wisdom, now convinced that humanity could be so easily corrupted and self-destructive, that she pledged her station to fate and left the cosmos forever.
Is that why Michael is so powerful?
You've only tasted but a sampling of his power. Michael is biding his time, waiting to unleash it fully.
Waiting for what?
Why, you, child. He's remained loyal to you after all these years, rebelling against his father's own vile nature. And he's waiting on you.
What?
Michael had many half-brothers, but none more sinister than the true offspring of fear and wisdom.
Wait, they had a kid too?
Impossibly so. The first and last of our kind to copulate. They bore 2 proteges, Chaos and Euphoria.
So one good, one evil?
Things are never that simple. But it was humanity that best defined his identity.
And what was that?
Devil.
Holy shit.
It took a millennium, but the Celestials, working together, finally subdued and cast him out.
To where?
To Earth. Unable to destroy him, they erased all his memories, entombed him within a seemingly mortal vessel.
Sounds all too familiar.
Same spell, much higher potency.
That makes me feel less special.
So, what about Euphoria?
The emissary of joy. She was to be the bridge between humanity and the Celestials, the first to experience joy with authenticity. But she grew envious of her brother's freedom, actions free of shame or consequence. So she followed him here to Earth, hiding from us all, using her abilities to shield wisdom from her whereabouts. You knew her once, knew her all too well.
Me?
To leave the cosmos exacts a heavy toll. It can leave even the most powerful entity disoriented. You found her, alone and confused, offered her friendship, a sisterhood she did not expect.
You mean Elizabeth found her?
She recognized who you were, even though you had forgotten. She gave you back your memories, hoping the 2 of you could rule humanity. But you refused, wanting to leave your past behind. But Euphoria would not let you go. You were all she had.
What is up with Elizabeth and psycho relationships?
When marauders killed your parents.
When marauders killed your parents, I used that anguish and anger to manipulate you. Bring your darkness forward. I knew the moment you tried to resurrect them, everything would change. And it did. We terrorized the world together. For centuries, goddesses worshipped by ignorant men. They fought and killed for us. The very fabric of history's greatest vulgarities were authored by our unholy union.
So what ended it?
Michael. When you allowed yourself to be captured upon the news of his demise, submitting to what I thought was a mortal death, I was left alone, abandoned, forced to flee into the shadows.
You were in love with me.
Yes. This isn't real. Not much is anymore.
So where did you go?
Working from the same shadows you left me in, making men commit the most heinous of acts for her pleasure. Nothing but a bitter and tormented wanderer who survives off the tragedy I bestow upon others. Never able to return to the horrific glory I once reveled in.
Why didn't you come for me then?
The alchemist hid you from me, just as he did from your precious Michael.
But not anymore. Now that he can find you, so will I. And I will hunt you down and exact my revenge to levels incomprehensible in the deepest depths of hell. We'll take a number, bitch!
So how exactly does one make men commit the most heinous of acts?
Does she not remember? Why, I manipulate their simple minds, creating within them both their ultimate feelings and imaginations of joy, all the while allowing them to commit the darkest inclinations in their corrupt little hearts, as they kill, maim, rape, and savage, utterly unconscious of their unspeakable acts, until awakening in the mire of the blood and destruction they have wrought.
You were meant to be the goddess of joy. How could you use your gifts for such evil?
I'm simply mimicking what mankind does to most of the things they are blessed with.
Have you fed and watered that high horse you're riding?
See you soon, sister.
Mom knows her truth. Are you ready for yours?
What are you talking about?
That you are who you think you are. An unfortunate soul lost in a world too big and frightening to defy.
Vinton, don't listen to him.
Do not keep him from the truth. Your friend was there, the very moment you became the property of Majestic.
Is that true?
This is not the time.
Do not keep him from the truth. You cannot schedule the truth like some unwanted appointment agent. You came here for answers. I will provide them. But you have no say in what consequences those revelations will lead to.
Is it true?
Yes. But you were a different man than
I was a murderer!
You weren't in control.
So you knew this whole time? Tell me something, partner. When you found me, what was your recommendation, huh?
Vinton.
Tell me!
To put you down. And at the time, you would have begged me to.
Were you the one that found me that day?
Yes. The alchemist found a way to control you. But I was there, counting the bodies and the parts.
Why? Why didn't you just kill me?
Honestly, I question that every day.
You couldn't have, even if you'd wanted to.
What?
Trust me, if you would have tried, it only would have made things worse. Catastrophically so. Even Cornelius could not comprehend what this young man is capable of. Riley thought he could crack the world. His assumptions fell short as well.
If you have something to say, then just say it! Enough of these games!
You do not want this burden.
I don't want any of this! But there's no turning back from who I am, and I deserve to know the truth!
Trust me, Fenton. It doesn't free you. It only increases the weight.
Then it is my right to bear it!
Does the devil truly want his birthright back?
No.
That is who you are. A legacy of evil, written in the blood of the guilty and innocent alike. And you are what mankind has defined the very idea of evil by.
You haven't factored Michael into your equation.
He does not possess the power.
My father Fear does!
Now it all comes together. Michael seeks his mate, while Fear seeks his son. They both exist in the same body. We do not know how to die. We've not been created to do so. No matter what, we will continue to exist. Fate knows that. She's counting on that.
I don't understand.
If Chaos is set free, Fate will be allowed to use whatever means to stop him. She will use his connection to mankind to make humanity suffer as well. She may not be able to destroy humanity, but she can torment it.
In an immortal hell.
And every hell needs its devil.
So how do we stop chaos?
The only way to stop chaos is an evil greater than itself. The one who asks the questions holds the answer.
Not an option.
The only option. Elizabeth was once the guardian of life. Chaos's power to destroy is only equal to her power to protect.
There are more questions than answers now!
As it always should be, or else life has no meaning.
My lord, one more favor.
Be careful, Lady Luna. What we hope for often becomes what we fear the most. I bid you all a good day.
So, are we in better shape or worse now?
Where the hell's Fenton?
Yeah, definitely worse.
Cornelius has shut down the Majestic since the incident. All of our agents and staff are either working remotely or have been temporarily reassigned to one of our satellite facilities. Can you believe that he is trying to stick to that ridiculous cover story? I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that no report was filed. No one even heard the gunshot. One thing's for certain. Fenton has demonstrated that he has a better grasp upon his abilities. Was Artifacts able to answer all of your questions?
I'm done playing games with you.
Beg pardon?
After all these years. You must have thought I was an ignorant asshole.
I don't understand. Where is this coming from?
Drop the act. Now it's just fucking insulting.
Who told you?
Does it really matter?
No. But if you do know, then you understand what it is we are working towards. How everything has been carefully planned, no matter how random things may appear to be.
Yeah. I'm knee-deep in your collective bullshit.
And have you come to grips with the part that you must play?
You mean I'm some sort of half-assed anomaly?
Oh no. You are no anomaly. You, Osiris, are the last hope we have.
Is that right?
Do you seriously think for a moment that this case was dropped into Mal's lap without some form of predestination? No. She was chosen. We needed her to start the equation. Like the wick, so to speak.
What the fuck are you talking about?
She never investigated this murder. Not in the infinite lifetimes that have cycled through. Not once. We knew for something to happen, you would eventually have to be involved.
So you orchestrated that as well?
Oh, I orchestrated everything. And your buddy Riley assisted in every step.
You keep him out of this. This madness belongs to you, and your cohort Cornelius, and you two alone. He never betrayed my friendship. There's no hiding from the fact that you did.
The charade with you was an unfortunate necessity.
Unfortunate? Unfortunate? You played me from the get-go.
Oh, you haven't the slightest idea.
What the hell does that mean?
It means I have been here from the beginning, from the moment of your mother's birth. That was the fixed time that we knew we could build upon.
My mother?
She never married, never had children, and always died before the age of 20. That was her pattern, continuously looped to ensure absolute predictability. Like every other mortal, her fate etched into the fabric of time itself. Or so fate thought. But with one slight manipulation, we were able to alter history, change reality. Now the future is more malleable. In a sense, in a way, that fate can no longer predict. That's why she is becoming so desperate. She can feel the power slipping through her fingertips and is utterly clueless as to why.
And I assume that manipulation is a veiled reference to my birth.
It took billions of computations, but the combination of your father and your mother was the only one. The only one.
That's impossible. My life had to have spawned other eventualities. Just like the rest.
In any other circumstance, you would be correct. Humanity has lived lifetime after lifetime through a variation of fate's pattern of restart after restart. But you are utterly unique, completely singular, freed from the fetters of fate's vicious cycle. And now, all we can do is hope that with all of our preparations, you will fulfill your purpose. Any other intervention on our part will ensure that fate can identify you and the threat that you pose.
My father beat my mother for years, tormented me from age 8. He nearly crippled me when I turned 13. He left my mother blind and deaf on the right side. No one stopped it. No one believed it. For years, I thought it was a broken system. It's what pushed me to become a cop, join the FBI.
By your own words, to ensure that you are on the correct path.
He fucking killed her! Then blew a little brains he had out the back of his skull in front of a child. I still can't escape that moment. I wake up covered in sweat, haunted by her screams, tormented by the horrific memories of how he brutalized her. You made every second of that nightmare happen.
The path to salvation is never an easy one. The death of your partner at the hands of the serial killer inspired you to become a profiler. Your discovery of Alexander destroyed your career, which led you to Majestic. You see, with every tragedy served an undeniable purpose. Without it, your existence would be completely impossible.
You fucked up my life!
To save countless others. An entire universe of them.
Maggie.
Her death was required too. For without it, you would have never have given up on her. Or her on you. That was a love that surprised even me. Which is no small feat. If you had married, it would have completely collapsed our plan.
Why even have us meet at all? You damned her Because of me.
To set you on a clear path. Each death and every pain. You see, it's through suffering that mankind realizes its true purpose, finds a reason for its very existence, the strength to accomplish greatness.
I was never able to love anyone again. She was the only one to reach me. After all that happened. And you took that from me. In the most vile way possible.
Because solace was required to keep you focused.
You son of a bitch!
Now comes the moment where the future will be decided, whether you become the hero or the villain of this story. See, heroes and villains are both conceived and born through pain. The villain embraces it to justify their misdeeds. The hero uses all that they are to overcome it, turning their greatest darkness into impossible hope.
Don't you fucking preach to me. There were lives. Human lives. Not pawns in your sick and twisted game. Expendable, without the slightest hint of remorse. You can rationalize it any way you want. But you're a new kind of fucking evil.
Those pawns that you so mentioned, in fact, are the most powerful pieces on the board. Everyone's too focused on the bishops, the rooks, the queen. But the pawn can bring about checkmate just as easily as those pieces. And the pawn's opponent never sees it coming.
Congrats. Now you sound exactly like Cornelius. I guess it's true. Twisted fucks do think alike.
Whether you can stomach it or not, it is what is required. Mankind has been lost for thousands of lifetimes. Not by my hands, but by fate's. Each life suffering over and over again without relief or rescue. Ignorant to the relentless riptide, mercilessly drowned and then spit back up from the breakers. Amnesiacs forced to run the lemmings race without rescue. And you have the audacity to bitch and moan because you have suffered one lifetime of hardship. You have no choice. None of us do. There is only this and ruin.
You act as though I can actually make a difference in all this. I'm one man. I'm not like you. I'm not like her. I don't know how to play God.
You don't have a choice. It'll be you and you alone that either becomes mankind's savior or its subjugator. So now you know what it means to be a god. For what it's worth, I truly value your friendship. It was a privilege, one that creatures such as myself do not deserve, nor are we capable of understanding it.
I hate you. More than I've ever hated anything or anyone in my life.
Understandable.
But you need to tell me everything. Everything I don't know. Everything you've kept secret. Every fucking thing.
I'm assuming that did not go well. How long ago did he leave?
It has been hours.
Why were you so hellbent on telling him now?
Because it's the right time. The window is closing too fast for us to wait. Interesting choice. What prompted this change?
He's here.
Where and when?
That doesn't matter. This is just to buy me some more time before our inevitable meeting.
Then we must expedite our plans.
What will you have me do?
You must kill the witch.
If I kill her, where does that leave our issue with chaos?
There is a contingency.
Will it succeed?
In time, it will prove to be a better plan.
You better be right.
Angel, it has been a long day, and I am in no mood for any further insolence.
Fine. If this succeeds, does our bargain still remain?
Yes. You will be granted all that was promised, and more.
How do I know you keep your word?
Because I have no good reason to betray you.
Then the witch will die tonight. And unlike your cohort, I will leave nothing to resurrect.
Make certain, because I will know if the deed is done.
Don't worry, old friend. As you so eloquently stated, I have no reason to betray you.
Osiris must finish this. I will be freed from this place and time.
Is that all you truly seek in this bargain?
There is no greater gain than to be freed from this existence.
Then where will you go?
To finish what I started. Once and for all.
So, you come to fight. Because you see, there's no other way. Redemption will come by your death. Resurrect from this, motherfucker!
The pain you're feeling? It's transformation. Freeing you from your cursed humanity. Releasing the beast that existed all along. Welcome to your true nature. What's happened to me? Quite the impressive transformation. Your task has granted you liberty, just as I hoped. To kill him, you had to give into the beast that truly makes us what we are. And once unleashed, it will never allow itself to be contained again. My dear, you should be pleased
Now you've transcended all shame, fear, regret to become the unstoppable force I always knew you could be. Fret not, my dear. The metamorphosis toll is only temporary. However, your newly reawakened appetite and proudness. Prepare to feed incessantly. Go back to the lair and wait for Alexander. When he arrives, let him behold your magnificent new form. Bask in your glory until I return. Your master has some unfinished business to attend to. That, once completed, will guarantee Alexander's fealty to me.
Where is she?
It seems she's running late.
Over an hour.
Do you wish me to go after her?
No, stay here. But my meeting with Lilith can no longer be delayed.
Don't worry. I will take care of the assassin.
I know you will. Lilith will need a reason to ally herself with me, and once her weapon's gone, she'll have no choice. But make it look like Michael, as we planned.
Retaliation for his brother.
Among other things.
And arrogance.
He will pay for his treason, and he'll have no allies left with any power to assist him.
When the time comes, I will enjoy breaking his neck.
All in good time. All in good time. I'll meet you back at the office. Bring me a souvenir. Dealer's choice.
My pleasure.
I thought he would never leave. He does like to hear himself speak, doesn't he?
What are you doing here?
You and I have unfinished business.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Do you really want to die so badly?
I'm going to piss on your corpse.
Let's do it.
Brute strength! Even trained skill is not enough. You have to understand your enemy intimately if you wish to defeat him. That is something he was never able to teach you. You never did have the heart for it.
Take comfort in this. Unlike you, I won't waste the piss. I think this might be my favorite trophy yet.
Hello? Yeah. I know Mickey's been trying to reach me. I don't care. And why does he need to see me so urgently? Listen. Don't be a wise ass. You're getting nothing but a dial tone. Yeah. I'll head over there.
Mr. Stanton.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Lead Agent Jackson Riley.
I assume that rather large file belongs to me?
Oh, well, your powers of perception have preceded you.
Well, my name is on it.
So it is. Stanton Astrid K.
I go by Case. It's my middle name.
Understood. Let's see what we have. Decorated CMPD officer, head of that department's domestic violence task force. No infractions to speak of, and apparently one of the best profilers ever to come out of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Why am I here? Wherever the hell here is.
If I may finish. No next of kin?
Yeah. I have no remaining family left alive.
No spouse, no significant other, no partner?
No.
No. In fact, according to our research, even your closest friends are merely acquaintances.
Yeah. I'm pretty much alone. You building me a dating profile or something? Are you kidding me with this? What do you want from me?
And as of 2 days ago, permanently relieved of duty.
Yeah, you're correct. Now how about a little quid pro quo? Where the hell am I? NSA? NSO? CIA?
No, Mr. Stanton. You are in the headquarters of an international peacekeeping force.
Is this some kind of front for the UN?
The UN. They couldn't guard a glass of water. No. This, Mr. Stanton, is Majestic.
You mean the UFO guys?
That has been one of our covers in the past. The more successful ones, actually. You take the conspiracy theorists, you line them up, you set them down, and you watch them go. Really doesn't take much.
Who are you? Really?
Just as I said, we are Majestic. We investigate, we identify, and if necessary, we eliminate the real threats to humanity.
And those threats would be?
Tell me, Mr. Stanton, about your investigation of Alexander Vasilyev.
I've done this to death.
Oh yes, I know. read your dossier. It's very good work. You nearly had it all figured out.
Is that the information I gathered? How did you get that?
You know, it took centuries to cover this information up. Millions and millions of man-hours redirecting all the data so no 2 points matched. And in the end, even our systems couldn't put it all back together again. And we use quantum level computers. And then you come along.
I never figured out who the guy was. Or is.
Not that you could have. Nothing that would have seemed plausible anyway. But your idea that it was more of a moniker, branding to keep the troops in line, that was truly ingenious.
What else could it be? If it was one man, the guy would have to be hundreds of years old.
That's right. And have been at the inception of every major crime syndicate known to man. Gambling, pornography, the sex trade, drugs, weapons, the list goes on and on. One man behind every cartel, every mob, no matter the nationality, the Italians, the Russians, the Triad, the Yakuza. It's a theory forged in insanity. No matter what data pops up, you'll never get that last piece to fit.
I've heard this speech before. Last time was before the Board of Inquiry.
Do you really blame them? I mean, when you hear it out loud, does it make sense to you?
If it didn't, I would have never risked my career. What's left of it anyway?
No. No, you wouldn't have.
So is there a point to any of this?
The reason that you couldn't put that last piece together is that Alexander Vasilyev is a vampire, or a Nocturne, to be precise.
He's a what?
It's all right there in the file. Read it for yourself. In the words of the late great Paul Harvey, this is the rest of the story. Now, Mr. Stanton, we have two choices ahead of us.
Is this real? This treaty?
Given your knowledge before and after about what we're trying to achieve here, knowledge that if released would have worldwide catastrophic effects, we could eliminate you.
And option two?
You come to work for me. You become an agent. We give you a new identity, a new life, no ties left.
So employment or death?
That pretty much sums it up.
Well, I guess I'm all out of choices.
I guess so. If you'll excuse me.
Are you absolutely sure about him?
He wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Yeah, well, he'll have to be the one to deal with Cornelius.
You've seen the kid's file. He's just enough of an asshole to take care of it.
Yeah, well, I still don't trust him.
He's my responsibility. If anything goes sideways, I take the hit.
You damn right.
I suppose you heard all that?
Yeah. What now?
Follow me, and I'll show you.
What if I can't cut it?
Then you'll go insane, commit suicide, or we'll eliminate you. Only 1 in 5 agents makes it past their first 3 days. I'm about to take everything you believe, Mr. Stanton, and turn it right on its head. You've heard people say, I want the truth. Well, you're about to get the truth, right up the ass. Not even gonna buy you dinner first.
Great. You really fucked me over, Riley. I miss the hell out of you.
Darkness will fall when the light is gone. Your blood runs cold and your time is done. As we dance our last waltz, darkness will fall. Darkness will fall when the light is gone. Your blood runs cold and your time is done. As we dance our last waltz, darkness will fall.